Hello fellow hunters, JBizHunts here with a video all about the rarest animals in the hunter call the wild. Every species in the game has a common, uncommon, and rare fur variation, but some of these rare furs are far more elusive than the others. With the pump, flip, and fire update, we got two brand new rare fur variations for the gray wolf, the acromelanistic and the melanistic charcoal. Both of these are stunning, and hunters everywhere were hyped to see these added. But just how rare are they? Here's a hint. They both made the top 10 list. Most major updates also bring changes to rare fur spawn rates. That was especially true with the ASCII Ridge release, when several species got adjusted rates that landed them right here in this ranking. So, today we're breaking down the top 10 rarest animals in the hunter call of the wild, ranked by their spawn rates. Just because you've spotted an initial spawn rare a few times doesn't make it a common. What really matters is how likely that rare is to respawn after a harvest. If you come across any of these, add them to your lodge immediately. And if you're thinking about starting a grind for one of them, this list might make you reconsider your strategy. Let's dive in. With the ASCII Ridge update, we got some increases in spawn rate as well as some new species that share the same brutal odds, a 1 in 3,030 chance among their three rares, albino, melanistic, and leucistic. On top of that, all of them also have a piebald rare fur type, which makes them just a little bit easier to track down compared to the number 10 spot in this list. These animals include the Grant caribou, the Manitoba elk, the North American beaver, the Tibetan fox, the woodland caribou, the pronghorn, and the wood bison. Basically, it's like the all-star team of frustrating hunts. From this group, I've got an albino Grant caribou hanging out in my lodge, a melanistic beaver. Yes, I mounted a beaver, don't judge. And on PC early access, I lucked into a albino pronghorn. So, if you come across any of these rares, just know you found one of the rarest animals in the game. Now that we've wrapped up the honorable mention portion of this video, let's kick off the official countdown of the rarest animals in the hunter call of the wild. At number 10, we've got a newer face in the lineup, the Ferruginous duck, first introduced in the Southwestern Park release. Like the honorable mentions, they do share a 1 in 3,030 odds for albino, leucistic, and melanistic plumage. The difference, these ducks don't have any bonus rares like piebald. Just the three very rare plumages, and that's it. I'll be honest, I'm not much of a waterfowl hunter in Call of the Wild. Setting up blinds and decoys can feel like trying to build an IKEA furniture in the wind for me, but maybe I'll have to start scouting some ducks, spot them out, and hope to drop an albino Ferruginous duck for the lodge. Who knows? Maybe I'll finally become a duck guy. At number 9 is the Eurasian teal, and this is honestly surprising to me. These guys are only found on Reventuli Coast and Southwestern Park, which already makes them feel special. They've got two very rare fur plumages, the blue hybrid and the green hybrid, both rocking a dreaded 1 in 3,030 spawn rate. The kicker, only drakes have the hybrid plumage, which means you're usually staring at a flock of hens with maybe two drakes mixed in. Basically, finding one of these is like winning the lottery, and then realizing you still owe taxes. To make it worse, hybrids look super similar to commons at first glance, so don't forget to check your harvest screen after every drake as you drop. Otherwise, you might walk right past one of the rarest animals in the entire game. Ouch. Sliding in at number 8, we've got the Sidestripe jackal from Virunga Savannah. Honestly, these guys are in desperate need of a remodel. They're one of the oldest species in the game, and they love nothing more than chilling in tall grass and heavy brush like they're auditioning for a Where's Waldo cameo. They've got two rare fur variations, the albino and melanistic, each with a spawn rate of 1 in 3,333. So if you ever spot one, just know you've beaten some serious odds. So, confession. I don't even have a diamond jackal, let alone a rare. I might have to dust off the good old Ranger 243 and go out and see if I can finally bring one of these guys back to my lodge, or at least scare a few out of the bushes. Lucky number 7 goes to the Raccoon dog. Found only on Reventuli Coast and Southwestern Park, they've got 4 rare fur variations, piebald, dark brown, orange, and the very rare albino, with a 1 in 3,333 spawn rate. Don't hunt these very much. mostly because they're tiny and for the longest time only had a nighttime drink zone. But now that they've got a daytime drink zone on Selzwiesen, I might have to give them another shot. Who knows, maybe an albino raccoon dog will waddle its way into my lodge. At number 6 is the plains bison, and honestly this one shocked me. The albino, melanistic, and leucistic all have a 1 in 3,448 spawn rate. I actually love hunting these guys. They're fun to chase on Silver Ridge Peaks and the Yukon Valley. I've managed to harvest each rare type, a couple albino bulls, a huge leucistic bull, and even a melanistic cow. The wild part? Most of those were initial spawns. I basically tripped over them compared to what the odds say. Does it surprise you that they rank this high on this list? Because it definitely surprised me. Sliding into the top 5 is the gray wolf. These guys have 4 rare fur variations: albino, melanistic, acromelanistic, and melanistic charcoal, which are considered very rare with a combined 1 in 4,000 spawn rate. They barely miss out on tying the next species on the list because you technically have a 1 in 1,000 chance of getting at least one of these variations, making them a touch less rare overall. I don't have any of these very rares yet in my lodge, but I'd love to. Gray wolves look incredible since the remodel in both their multi-mounts as well, with the alpha wolf, that has 1 male and 2 females, or the bison, which has 1 male, 1 female, and a plains bison. Yep, the same plains bison that just came in at number 6. Talk about a crossover episode. At number 4, we've got my personal favorite species to hunt, the mule deer. With the ASCII Ridge update, they not only became the 9th Great One species, but they also gained a brand new rare, the leucistic variation. Now with albino, melanistic, and leucistic, they all share a 1 in 4,000 odds of spawning. That gives you about a 1 in 1,333 chance of seeing at least one rare of these ones to pop up, which actually makes them just a smidge less likely to spawn a very rare than the gray wolves who came in just before them. And with so many players grinding for the great one, more rares are popping up lately. I've harvested nearly 1,500 mule deer myself and only managed 5 dilutes. The trophy I'm most proud of? A melanistic gold mule deer that I dropped on Silver Ridge Peaks before the update. Still one of my favorite in my lodge. Taking the bronze medal at number 3 is the Canada goose. With the ASCII Ridge update, not only did they get a brand new remodel, but their rare spawn rates also changed. They've got 5 very rare plumages now: the albino, light gray leucistic, melanistic, white hybrid, and brown hybrid. Each sits at a 1 in 5,000 odds, which means you've technically got a 1 in 1,000 shot at any of the rares, but if you're after a specific one, good luck, you might be there until your retirement. I've got a brown hybrid goose in my lodge that was actually a troll diamond. It missed by 0.01, but it used to be a common plumage and then got it promoted to rare at the ASCII Ridge update, so it's basically a legacy trophy for me. That's one that's going to be staying on a stand in my lodge for good. At number 2, we've got the Greylag Geese coming in the runner-up position. These birds are spread across Reventuli Coast, Sunder Paton, and Salzwiesen Park, and they've got 2 rare plumages, leucistic and hybrid. Here's the kicker. The hybrid has a jaw-dropping 1 in 5,882 spawn rate. That's insanely rare for a species that I've barely paid attention to. Honestly, I might have to start setting up blinds for these guys now. Imagine pulling one of these guys for your lodge. You'd be the envy of the whole community. And finally, the holy grail of all rares in the Hunter Call the Wild, the albino Bobwhite Quail. This little bird takes the gold medal with a ridiculous 1 in 20,000 spawn rate. That's not a typo, 20,000. They don't have any other rare furs, just albino, and they also happen to be the second smallest species in the entire game, weighing only 0.25 kilograms at max. Basically, they're smaller than your lunch. To make things worse, they're only found on Mississippi Acres and New England Mountains, 2 of the densest, toughest maps to hunt in the game. And because they're upland birds, you've got to shoot them midair for a full medal rating. So yeah, finding one of these is like finding a diamond in a haystack while blindfolded. If you've ever harvested an albino Bobwhite Quail, I want to see the screenshots. Seriously, drop them in the community because they're that rare. I haven't seen many posted, and I've been looking. I've only ever saw 2 posted in the Hunter Call the Wild Discord. And that wraps up our countdown on the rarest animals in the Hunter Call the Wild. From honorable mentions like the Grant caribou and the Manitoba elk, all the way down to the absolute unicorn of the entire game, the albino Bobwhite Quail. These trophies are the ones that truly test your patience, your persistence, and maybe even your sanity. If you've managed to harvest any of these, especially that quail, I'd love to see the screenshots. Drop your comments down below, or better yet, tag me over in Discord or socials. I always enjoy seeing what the community pulls off. Don't forget, just because something's rare doesn't mean it's impossible. Sometimes you trip over a melanistic bison, other times you grind for thousands of kills and still come up empty. That's the beauty and the pain of hunting in the call of the wild. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that bell so you don't miss any future hunts, guides, or breakdowns just like this one. Until next time, fellow hunters, happy hunting.